because of jet lag. And so deep down, I'm faking it, because really I'm a tulog. But that's okay, because when you're fired up to help people, when the curtains open, the show goes on. True or true? True. All right, let's do it. Okay. How about I do a little selling teaching as well, rather than just tell you about the product. Here's 3 things that I'm going to do right now on each product that I show you. Number 1, I'm going to teach you about selling the problem. No matter how you do this, I'll explain in a second. No matter how you do this, no matter what words you use, I will teach you what selling the problem is. Number 2 is prepare people for high cost. Number 3 is sell the solution. Okay, what is selling the problem? If I walk into your home, you might not know that you have a problem without me telling you stories that help you understand that you have a problem. Then, number 2, come on, halika na. Oh, we have more. And we have 2 more seats up here. Okay. This is Team Abu Dhabi. All right. Oh, hey, we got more chairs too. I didn't know that. That's good. Okay. Hey, listen, it's all right. We can wait. I'm good with it. I'd rather get as much of the. Yeah, there's more chairs. More chairs. I love Full House. It's good energy. We're gonna power up. All right. Now, later on, I'm going to show you. First, I'm going to show you. You really, truly, honest to God, if you're going to be a real champion, if you're really going to help a lot of people, you need to know what problems do you solve and why do you do such a great job solving those problems. Because that's where it starts. Let me ask you this. Why does it start with the product? Because if the product is so amazing that people would think that they're crazy not to own it, and it does such a good job that you can speak from your heart. See, when you speak from your mind, you get people to think. When you speak from your heart, you get people to connect and act. All right. So, for the newcomers, I just wanted to mention quickly that what we're going to do right now is we're going to share with you about product, then we're going to share about opportunity, and share what makes us such a long-term company that is here in UAE to make an amazing contribution to all the Filipino here. And we are doing it. And plus, I want to show you how easy and hard. See, anything that comes too easy, your life will be hard. Anything that comes hard, your life will be easy. Because anything that is hard in the beginning, just to be able to learn, unless you've got a lot of skills that you're bringing from another company to this company. So I want to show people how there's people in this room and there's people all over that are full-time with me, how easy it is really once they're committed, how to earn $100,000 US per year. You convert that into dirhams, or 150 or 200. Not everybody wants that. Some people are in this business to make extra money each month. Whatever the goal is, whatever the target is, I want to show you how to get there. And I want to show you another thing. Most companies, when you come to a meeting like this, and a lot of you have been to many meetings, a lot of you have heard a lot of stories. And why should you listen to me? The only way you're going to listen, in my opinion, is that if I connect with you somehow and you really see the process it takes to really be big time. It is a process. And if anybody tells you it's super easy, they would probably lie about other things, because it's not. But I will say that some of the people that have brought some great experiences from other companies that are focused and consistent, and I can mention their names later, and you might know already some of them, that are really crushing it. And what I mean by crushing it, I mean where we can literally show you the deposits in their accounts that are really large. But it starts off with, what problem do you solve? You know, have you ever seen some family members or yourself, and they're going to get into the business of business, and what's the first thing they talk about? They talk about, oh yeah, we're going to get into this business, we're going to make a lot of money, which is important, but you never hear them mention, what problem are you solving better than the guy or the girl down the street? What contribution are you making? So when you leave me, you say, wow, I really like dealing with Gerry, you know, I really like the way he works, and this product is amazing, it's really helping me. So when you come from that place in your brain, yeah, silent. Walang problema. No problem. All right, so here we go. So remember I told you about the first thing is selling the problem? Here we go. I'm going to show you how I sell the problem from my way of delivering the message. You can create your own way. Yeah, just tell them later. And actually, do me a favor. In the future, don't even answer. Yeah, just don't answer them. Only 1 hour from now. Okay. Now, so I'm about to show the juicer. I'm going to sell the problem now. Okay. Here's how I would do it. Have you ever seen the way Filipinos eat?
Yes.
Their diet is high in meat, high in fat, high in fried foods, and high in carbs. Tell me something. As you move along in life over 35, 40, 45, 50 and higher, that diet for a lot of people has a lot of health issues. What are some of the problems? Diabetes is hypertension. You know, diabetes I really relate to because my father died because of diabetes. My background's Italian. Italians eat a lot of meat, a lot of fat, a lot of fried foods, and our carbs are pasta. And so my dad, like everybody else, usually starts off with the pill, the diabetes pill. I have no idea when he started taking it. I'm going to guess maybe in his early 50s, maybe even in his 40s, I don't know. But you know, when you're on that pill, for most people don't know, but that pill makes it easier to have a stroke. That pill makes it easier to get high blood pressure and other complications. Well, my dad was one of the ones that had a stroke. And after the stroke, it just took, I don't know how long, because at that time in my life, I didn't pay attention to that. I knew my dad was sick, but I didn't pay attention to the process. So after that, then it went to the insulin, the needles. And when you start taking the needles and you're a diabetic, after a while you start to go blind because blood builds behind the retina. And for people that take a lot of pills, and there's a lot of illnesses where people take a lot of pills once they're over 50 and 60 and so on. What happens, another problem, is constipation. They don't drink enough water and a lot of pills. Well, my dad was to the point where it was so extreme he would have to go to the hospital to be cleaned. And that is painful and humiliating. So one day he cut his foot, goes to the hospital, it wouldn't stop bleeding, gangrene sets in, and they come to me and they say, listen, we gotta cut your dad's leg off, like right now. And he refused. So it didn't take many days before he passed away because it spreads quick. Now Now, why would my dad have cut his leg off to stay alive? I never asked him that question, but I'll tell you this. I believe it's not about how long you live, lifespan, it's about health span. How long are you going to be healthy for? The last 14 years of his life sucked. Pills, hospitals, needles, all of that stuff. So the only reason I'm telling you this is that as Filipinos and as us Italians, and my wife is Filipina, so I know, because and everybody I work with is Filipino. So I see that Filipinos have a lot of that problem. Diabetes, high blood pressure, and so on and so on. And you're gonna see some relatives or friends or even yourself that maybe all of a sudden you're 50 some years old or 60 some years old and you didn't have it all your life and now you got it. So it starts shortening your life. You know what? And when I felt that, knew that, and learned that, I said, you know what? I want to change people's lives. I want people to get healthier, and I'm going to show you something that is absolutely amazing. You know, juicing will change your life. The fountain of youth is in juice. All right, we've all been to Filipino parties, right? So you walk into the party, and then you go, oh, yeah, there's maybe some baka, and and then dinuguan, okay, maybe some tilapia, right? Oh, in the pancit, there's a little bit of carrot, okay, a little vegetable in there, okay. Then there's rice, and just in case you run out of rice, there's more rice in the back room. Okay, that's right, unlimited. Yeah, just like in the Philippines. What's that? Only rice at Inasal, yeah. And but it's totally meat and carbs, you know. And so what I want people to know is that should you start juicing, it'll change your life. Juicing brings down cholesterol, blood pressure. It helps protect against diabetes. You know how many customers of ours that are diabetics that either could get off the pills, because how many people here would agree that diabetes is diet and lifestyle related? Most of it, not all of it. True? Yeah, it is. So all of a sudden their life changes because now, but you know what? You can buy juicers. Well, maybe here, I'm going to say maybe you can buy juicers here for, I'm just trying to do the conversion, maybe 400 or 500 dirhams. And then you can purchase juicers for 5,000 dirhams. Let me tell you something. You never want the inexpensive juicer. Because in America, I'll say, you know, you can buy a $100, $200 juicer, you can buy $500 juicer, $800. I said, those juicers use up so much food. You get pulp in your mouth. Pulp in your mouth is not pleasing, and if it's not pleasing, you're going to start wanting to avoid it. They're really hard to clean. You cannot do greens. For example, when I go to the Philippines tomorrow, I'll be juicing in my condo malunggay with all my vegetables and fruits. In Canada, it's a kale and parsley. All right? Inexpensive juicer, you try to do kale and parsley, so when you push that down, it just burns the motor out. And so you start burning motor out. So in the beginning, the cheap juicer looks like good value, but it actually becomes more and more and more expensive, and the expensive juicer starts going down because it saves you so much money, and it's powerful, it's easy to clean. And I gotta tell you something, every morning for me, it used to be 1 glass. Now, I have a jug. Honest to God, my typical morning is red pepper, which has more vitamin C than an orange, carrot, apple, kale, beets that clean your liver. And you get that energy. And you feel great. And you go more regular. You feel better. And when you feel better, you have you're more brighter. And that's what juicing does for you. And I'll tell you something, we have one of the most powerful juicers in the world today. The nicest part is, I'm going to put it on pause for a minute. I told you the problem, which I told my dad's story. I don't know what story you're going to tell. But maybe you'll say, well, you know, my boss's dad, you might use my story. or you find stories that are true so people can relate that this is a problem that affects Filipinos and it's a serious problem. It's not just a, oh yeah, we got diabetes. What about all the pills you got to take? How hard is that on your liver? Your kidney, excuse me, as well. Kidney. So this is a problem, and stories help them. I'm doing half demo, half training class. Stories will help them understand that it's a serious problem that they should be dealing with. Then I started talking about the juicing, but then I reverted back to preparing you that you can buy cheap juicers and expensive juicers, and this is a top-of-the-line commercial residential juicer, because I don't want you to I don't want you to get high blood pressure when you hear the price. You know, go, oh my God, you know, and like, oh, marami pera, yeah, and it's like, whoa, yeah, mahal, yeah. So then I talked about why this powerful juicer that is all stainless steel and the juice is really thin. And when you drink it, it goes right down through your stomach walls, in your bloodstream, 10 minutes with no digestion. Your body doesn't have to work for all those nutrients. And it tastes amazing. If you need it to taste a little better, add more apple, sweeten it up. Green apple, I like all of them. So you find what you love, because you know what? You'll avoid what you hate, but you'll do what you love. And the more you do that, the more you teach other people. How many people's lives will you change because you walked into their life? Do you know how many people are so much healthier, so much stronger, so much better because they're using our juicer? And they would never have started juicing unless I or you told them that story. Now, if we look at this here, the water filtration system. How many people have heard of a company here? It's called Kangen. Okay, how much is a Kangen unit? 15,500.
15.
Okay. Huh?
The biggest one is 22,000.
Okay, so the biggest one is what they sell all over the place that I relate to. The biggest one. That's the normal one.
The normal one is 15,000.
Okay, 15,000. Okay, 15,000. All right. That's pretty normal nowadays. Now, if you notice, in this particular situation, I started preparing for high cost early. So you don't have to always be perfectly in sync, you know. Why? Because I want people to know that they're selling them for 15 to 22,000, and what they are. And I'm not saying anything bad, or I'm not saying anything good. We're just talking about price. See, I want you to have that price in your brain, because it's real. People are selling what they call point-of-use systems, which means they hook up to your tap. And they're for drinking, cooking, and washing your food. I'm going to show you why everyone that knows about how great our filter is. And trust me, I'm saying that because I live it. We, as Nutraway, in spite of the fact we are very committed to Carico, we don't have to sell their product. We don't have to sell all of their product. We choose to sell their product because we know the game. And this is high quality. Let's check this out here. Tell me something. If you tell me, why do they put chlorine in water, by the way?
To kill the bacteria.
Huh?
To kill the bacteria.
Okay. Keyword is kill bacteria. Anytime you're going to kill something, such as bacteria, that means you're poisoning it to kill it. So chlorine, in effect, is a poison. The only thing is that as per the standards of most governments, we are drinking and cooking or showering in what they call acceptable amounts of poison, meaning everybody can handle that. Are you a nurse? Okay, it just one of the things, if you Googled on the internet right now, if you Googled chlorine, cancer, and heart disease, an article comes up right away. you'll know it's the right article. Oh, don't Google it right now, though. Don't Google it right now. Later, you're going to see an article that comes up, and it talks about the Medical College of Wisconsin. It's a research scientist center that's known all over the world if you're in that field. Their research team is convinced, as you read the article, that there's an association between cancer and chlorinated water. They say that 1 in every 8 women will get breast cancer. And in their study, they found a new study in Hartford, Connecticut, found that they had 60% more chlorine compounds in most cases in their breast tissue than women that did not have breast cancer. You know, when I heard that, I thought, wow. Could you imagine? I'm sure it's not every woman, but could you imagine there's a percentage of women that are in the oncology hospital here in Dubai, and the only bad thing they did was cook or shower or maybe even drink chlorinated water. And it really made me think that it's not to your best interest to drink chlorinated water. And should you use ours, and this is something that you can use. Okay, let me see here. Okay, this is something that if this is something here that when water comes into this unit, it pushes through this ceramic. Soon we're going to get a video machine in here so you can literally see these videos that we have that are touch and play, kind of really unique, that focuses on just things you want. But this, after a month, how many, has anybody cleaned their cartridge after a month or 2 here in Dubai? Tell me, what color was it?
It's a brown.
Brown. Dark brown. See, you don't see that water coming up. And when you're making rice, washing your rice, where do you go? You go to the tap, right? There's a lot of people saying, "Oh, but I'm not drinking tap water." Yeah, but rice is 50% water or more. And so you wash it in all those chemicals, and then when you cook it absorbs right into your rice. You're eating it. And when it pushes and you see that dirt after a month, that's in your food as well. And no bacteria or microorganism can get through. You know, it's really shocking to me. 3 years ago, I was in Isabella for Christmas, and it was raining a lot. I didn't think of it as a typhoon, but it must have been a signal 1 or 2 or well, I don't know. It was just raining. And because the barrio was in higher ground, we didn't really notice how much rain, because it had been going on for days and days and days. And then when we left, I couldn't believe it. It was like an ocean. All the Carabao were up on the highway, and it was like an ocean. I mean, houses were half up, some were totally submerged. And you know, not only did I think about, geez, look at what these people have to go through, but I thought about, guess what? What about all the Carabao and animal manure? Where does it go? It goes into everybody's well. What about the pesticides and insecticides and, that are on the fields? It goes into everybody's well. Do you know, they did a study in South Asia 40 years ago. They found that in the barrio, in the provincia, there was only a 3% cancer rate. Now it's the same as cities, so close to 50%. But they didn't have pesticides back then. They didn't have chlorine back then. They didn't have galik with oil and gasoline and no, they didn't have any of that. Now it's getting it all into the water. So that's why our family back home has this, as long as they have a Jetmatic on their well, right? Because now inside it removes over 200 chemicals. This water is literally sweet tasting. And it is I'll tell you something, it is phenomenal. It tastes great. It's a surgical stainless steel container. It's so competitively priced, and it's so effective, whether it's on city water, well water, it doesn't matter. It's designed for both. Those other filters that cost much more than ours are not designed for well water, in spite of the fact some of the sales consultants either don't know or whatever, but they're not, their clients shouldn't be putting them on well water. It says right in the book if they read it. This is phenomenal. And I'll tell you, it's phenomenal here and it's phenomenal everywhere. And we're selling them all over the world. It's a great, great unit. Water is life. What if now you started to work with us and you start to live the experience and now you're juicing every day? What's going to happen to you? You're going to feel better. Trust me, you'll feel better. What's going to happen if you start now drinking a lot of good water? You'll probably start drinking 3 times the water you used to drink. Part of it's psychological, just the fact that you know it's highly filtered. The other part, it tastes so darn good. So now, with the water we drink, then we have the air purification system. This is a 10-stage system. Inside, there's 2 cartridges. I remember Eva showed me her cartridge inside her unit. And those cartridges, there's 2 of them, and they're this thick. And the first one is to remove the bigger pieces of fiber and lint and dust and everything else. And then it gets smaller, 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 right down to what they use in hospitals called a HEPA filter that is very expensive. If anyone's here as a nurse, you know there's a room called a negative pressure room. If you got tuberculosis, they're going to put you in there. So viruses can't get in and out. We have it in our unit. Then the carbon stages to absorb gases. When your air has gone through this much, you know, most filters only have 1 or 2 layers. And of course, they're a help. This has 10 stages. If you were to go out and buy all the different filters to make up that, at dirhams, it'd probably be, I don't know, 20,000 dirhams. We're so competitive, and it has one other feature. You're going to walk into your house with that, and the air is going to, feel light, easy to breathe. You'll sleep better. You'll feel just more energy in the home because it has an ionizer that puts negative ions in the air, so it freshens your home. And it has one other item on it that I think is the best, because next 2 weeks from now when I go home, I'll be bringing a luggage full of Toyo, Pusit, Tinapa, and Bagoong. I will. And you know, I do. I bring 32 kilos each time, and that's 5 times a year. And when Thelma comes, which will be next month, she'll be bringing 2, because for 2 reasons. 1 is for all her friends and guests, and 2 is she doesn't use it except for demo. Because all I got to do is press this button right here, deodorizer, and a room this size. If I cook Pusit Toyo in this room right now, voila, in 40 minutes, 35 minutes, gone. You won't smell nothing. Because anything you can smell is a gas. This will neutralize gas, leave behind oxygen. It's amazing. So not only is it great for breathing, for allergies, for comfort, to remove some of the high levels of dust that are in Dubai, and cars, pollution. It's great. You will love it. It makes a difference. So these are the problems that we solve. Can you see where, should I come into your house, can you see how I can speak passionately? It's not just to make a sale, in spite of the fact, yes, I want to make money. that's how I work. But first, I want you to benefit so much that whatever I'm rewarded with financially, then I too deserve it. You deserve the benefit, I deserve the reward. That's being a good business person. One of the other things that we have is the mattress. I'm sure this probably reduces blood pressure, but when you hear the price of this, your blood pressure will go. There's no question about it. It's not. Well, because everything that goes into making a great mattress. Hey, how about this? Tempur-Pedic in United States, which does not do what this does. King size mattress, $10,000 US. So in dirhams, what would that be? I don't know, close to 40? 36, 37?
48.
And it's gonna be more. Why? Because they gotta ship it here. And they gotta bring it here, and they gotta go through that whole process. And everything, by the time it gets here, is more money. I mean, over here, I've noticed you just about gotta work 2 jobs just to go to lunch. The price of lunch. 60 dirhams, 100 dirhams. I mean, there's places that are a little less, but it's not hard to spend 100 dirhams over here and have a bite to eat very easily. So this mattress, let me see if your Italian is very good. It says here, fatto a mano. What does fatto a mano mean? It means handmade.
Handmade.
Yeah. Handmade in Italy. As a matter of fact, yeah, you're supposed to turn the,
Ano, talaga sa atin.
Oh, she has other phone, okay. Do you have any more phone?
Oo, handmade. Kaya
Oh, she got 3, it's like the Philippines. Smart, globe, and sun.
smart.
Okay, all right. Now, this mattress, and really when Arlene brings her computer here, and we'll probably get something, our own TV for here, and
Yeah.
a system for
Projector,
here, real soon, now that I'm noticing that you're missing it. If I show you some of the things this mattress does through the video, I'll tell you through my words, but when I show you through the video, the short little tiny ones, it's amazing. This mattress is made, the fabrics are made in Italy with a company that makes fabrics for Armani and Louis Vuitton and all of those, name brands. This is lined with pure silver. The entire mattress is lined with pure silver, so it makes it 99.99% bacterial free. It does something that no other mattress does. Have you ever gotten in some mattresses where you get into your bed and at first you feel really nice and after a while you start getting hot? It's because the mattress doesn't breathe. And with this mattress here, when you move, it breathes. It has like 8 or 9 layers of all these different things to absorb your shoulders and hips and your body shape. So you've probably gone to bed and you're feeling pretty good, okay? You're feeling pretty good, and when you go to bed, but then you wake up in the morning, you're a bit sore. Happens all the time. One of the reasons is that you're sleeping, I'm a side sleeper, and then your body, your spine is not aligned, okay? So that you start getting uncomfortable and you turn. Sometimes you'll even turn so much that it'll even wake you for a second. And then you'll turn, you keep turning so much, you don't get what they call a level 4, which is rapid eye movement. A level 4 sleep, where you go real deep, where your mind literally detaches from the thinking brain. And that's when your body repairs at its finest. That's when you strengthen your immune system. That's when you can fight off disease better. I mean, this is great stuff. And it has one other thing that no other mattress has, which is It's called earthing or grounding. The professional cyclists use it for on the Tour de France. When you see this short video of all the doctors, not made by us, this video, you see this short video made by the doctors, these guys, get this stuff, these guys on the Tour de France, you know that bicycle race, right?
Yeah.
These guys are paid 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 million bucks. I mean, huge money is riding on this race for the players and the teams. And they incorporate what we're the only company that has it incorporated in our bed. They incorporate it into sheets that they put on the bed for their athletes. And they found that it lowers blood pressure. Your body absorbs more oxygen. You sleep much deeper. Hey, I remember, it's like falling asleep on the beach. Have you ever fallen asleep on a beach? What? Oh, I was going to say, you're not going over there to sleep, are you? Oh, thank you very much. Salamat po. Oh, man. Okay. All right. I remember falling asleep on a beach, right? And the first couple of seconds when you first wake up on a beach, it's like you don't even know where you are. Because you slept so deep, you're connected to the earth.
Yes.
That's what this mattress does. Is it grounds you to the earth, and you get deeper in your sleep, and it helps you heal faster, and it reduces signs of osteoporosis development. I mean, isn't that an issue, osteoporosis, with a lot of elderly people? Yeah, it gets brittle. So it reduces signs of development, actually reverses it in many cases. Your blood pressure gets lowered. It helps diabetics. It's got so many benefits, and you heal faster. That's what this bed does. And for the people that, let's say, are not in a position to get the bed right now, they will get the topper. Because it'll ground them, it gives them added comfort. It's not going to be like the bed, the added comfort, but it's still added comfort, really nice, and it grounds them to the earth. Really, really special. By the way, does anyone here have any kind of a testimonial? Because I'm not here and I don't know who purchased. Who you do have a testimonial? Well, yeah.
Justify with this one?
Well, any product, but whatever. If you want to say this one, this is fine. Yeah.
Yes.
Tell me,
Yes.
what's your testimonial?
It's my knee. I am 62 years old. Just, what you call this, using the step,
Yeah.
going to my building.
Yeah.
I am just stepping one at a time.
Yeah.
With my right leg first. Then it will follow. Now I'm just running upside down.
Wow.
On the knee.
Ang galing.
That's really nice.
Foundation.
Oo.
And
Isa-isa.
I put that sleeve. Yeah. With this topper, since I have this utang.
Yeah. Utang's good.
I'm not taking any pain reliever.
Wow, so nice. So nice.
I used to have Panadol night is already past. It's not working with me. Then the doctor gave me this something to sleep. I'm not using that anymore.
Wow, that's awesome to hear. Awesome. Well, and you're right. It does reduce inflammation. All right. So it is amazing. Does anybody else have any kind of testimonial, any product? Yes. What's your? Anybody who stands up, state your name and then tell us the. No, stand up. Your name and testimonial. Oh, come on up here. Yes. Come on, take a picture too for Facebook.
Hi, good evening everyone. I am Maria Magdala. I'm one of the user of the Caribe International. Anyway, by the way, I have a testimony because I have an ulcer and went already in the first stage of cancer. Through the help of Carico cookware and the topper, and I have also this problem. One of my teeth, two teeth, it's rubber. make operation in Canadian hospital. This is 2015. So I have a lot of pain before, and supposed to be I'll get the operation here. But Madam Telma, the wife, told me don't make operation, try the top. So once I get it and sleep it, it's only not take long, in 3 to 5 days, there is already health benefits. Like my ulcer, I said, it's already reached the first stage of cancer. But now, alhamdulillah, last month, because before I used to make every 6 months the endoscopy and colonoscopy in 1 year. But when I went to my doctor, he told me everything is fine, everything is normal. Your tumor is not growing big, because supposed to be when it's activated before. So he told me when it's getting bigger, we'll make the operation. So I got afraid. I don't want to get operation because I have from my family, my grandfather died in ulcer cancer. So when because I've been in this sickness 2008. I've been all the hospital here in UAE. When I go for the treatment in the hospital, even the antibiotic, it's not receiving from my body. How much pain I suffer. So when I came to know the cookware and the topper, alhamdulillah, I'm here. That's why I'm sharing to people. As they said, last time you have to use first the product so you can share to people. So alhamdulillah, and even my son, my youngest son, he got convulsion. They said they get it in radiation. He's 9 years old before, 2015. He got a convulsion for this too much radiation. This is they call rolantic epilepsy. This is the sickness of the local kids. 24 hours in the computer. So last month only, I make the EEG. They said, because when he get that one, they said there is one nerve in his brain, it's not functioning. That's why every 3 months, or the doctor told him to use the computer only for half an hour. But you know the child, I cannot stop him. Sometimes 1 hour, 2 hours. And then every 6 months he's making convulsion. So when I came, he started to use the pillow and the topper. Alhamdulillah, now when I make the checkup last month, the doctor said everything is okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Only by sleeping with the topper. And of course, I'm making juice every morning. Before eating breakfast, even my husband, he had diabetes and cholesterol before. Now he's not taking this medicine. Only I'm making juice early in the morning before eating breakfast. And same with my kids. That's what I'm doing every day, eating breakfast. So that's why our product is very good. It's very, very good.
Wow, okay, thank you. Wow. Is there anybody else that's got a product testimonial? The only other people that will accept with testimonial is men with blue shirts and glasses. The only person we'll accept with a testimonial is men with blue shirts and glasses.
Yes, sir.
We can only accept...
Blue.
Joke lang.
Joke lang.
But
Ikaw
they
naman.
keep pointing at you, so you must have something to say.
Actually, I'm just trying to ask these two ladies over there that testify
Okay.
because of what happened to her body. Because one of the lady over there,
Yeah.
she has a problem with the kidney,
Yes.
and all of a sudden, like after a couple of weeks,
Yeah.
she got some pain at the bottom, you know.
Oh,
Yeah, and the other lady over there,
Yeah.
where is that lady? I think
She's hiding.
She's in the toilet.
Oh, okay.
She got a problem here
Yeah.
on the topper. This is her experience on the topper.
Yeah.
So when I told her okay, just try it. Just try it. Get it. Don't pay it. Then pay it once you get a result after like 3 or 4 days. And she said, okay, Roger, I have a good news for you. I said, what? I'm gonna pay you now because the thing is, all her back pain is like, you know, it's gone. And she's 60 years old, by the way.
Wow. Wow. Hey, and you know what? Remember, don't tell them what he said. Don't pay it.
Of course not.
Okay.
Of course not.
Don't say that because he will be paying it. Okay.
You will be
Okay. Hey, congratulations. No, that's terrific.
Yeah,
Hey,
of course.
great to hear.
Yes, sir.
Great to hear.
Thank you very much.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's great stuff.
Mm.
Alright.
All right. Make it
All
happen.
right.
Yeah, it's happening, sir.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Okay. All right. Last but not least is a product. There's some people in the room that sold Caldero here that were with Salad Master
Go for it.
and maybe even other companies. I really believe that your health is determined by the food you eat and how you prepare it, the water you drink, cook, and shower in, the air you breathe, and having an amazing night's sleep that includes grounding and supplementing through juicing. This Caldero is not only is it beautiful because it reflects, it's like kitchen jewelry. It reflects the glow at your kitchen. It looks really charming and beautiful. But not only that, it has a valve on here. Many companies have different kind of valves. This one, of course, this is the larger one, the 5-quart. We have even larger ones than this. But all you would do is you would put your vegetables in here, wash them, put them in the pan dripping wet. Put the valve on open. You hear a light whistle there. Put the valve on open on medium heat for 5 minutes. It'll start to whistle lightly. When it's coming out fast, it has the thermometer here that'll show you it's come up to the red line, and then you will shut the valve off, turn the stove to minimum, and it'll cook gently in its own juice in 12 minutes, 10 minutes. And it tastes amazing, your food. You cook a roast, you could fry chicken with no grease, oil, or fat. Watch the video, or I'll give it to you quick. You preheat the pan, whether it's our frying pan, or we have an oil core skillet, and hopefully soon someday Rika does one of his famous oil core skillets, pancit, and the many other things you do. We just did two, banana Q.
Yeah.
We did banana Q with no oil in,
Come on.
I forget where the heck I was. It was recent, somewhere. It was in Davao. Last time I was in the Philippines 2 months ago. So, if you're gonna use the frying pan with something like this, what we do is we take the skin off the chicken thighs, my favorite. I add a little bit of bawang, preheat the pan, throw a little bit of water, just like this. When it jumps around like mercury, you know it's hot enough. Put the chicken in. Automatically it sticks. The pan's hot, the chicken's cold. After about 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 8 minutes in that area, it's 10 minutes. It's gonna be cooking, get brown, and then you get a fork, you're gonna lightly lift it, and it'll pop up. Do the other side, another 10 minutes. Oh, it is so mussed up. And could you imagine? I used to think it was the skin that made the taste. It's not. You cook fried chicken that way, it tastes amazing. And you eliminated all that fat. You can do roasts on top of the stove. We have kawali that you can purchase. It transfers heat all the way from the bottom all the way up the sides evenly. And it has beautiful handles that have a flame guard that if you're using gas or propane or electricity, that when the heat comes up, it reflects back and it doesn't burn up your handles, and it's got a really nice fit to it. It's an amazing. Caldero will last you a lifetime. It is phenomenal. So,